Hi, my name is Cy Porter, and today's tutorial is about drawing noses. So, like everything else in drawing, it's the 3D quality that we're looking for. So, one thing to think about when drawing noses are some of the most drastic planes. A nose has more drastic changes and directions in planes than a lot of features. And this creates very strong shadows and changes the shape of the nose as the head turns and as it moves. So having a 3D understanding of the nose is very helpful. So it's a good idea to think of the nose as, remember, its most basic planes are the front and the two sides, and they are so drastic in direction that it's almost as if they are at 90-degree angles. Of course, the nose is curved and much more complicated than this block, but just to give you an idea of it, and if you can see a little bit of the nose, if the light source is over here, this area here is going to catch a lot of light, whereas this area over here is going to really get thrown into shadow. And it's important to remember that people don't shadow noses enough if they're shadowing at all. And if you're not shadowing, just remember the lines can be very strong on noses when looking at them from the side, because they do stand out. So that's a really good thing to keep in mind. So, and then as you shape the nose as far as the nostrils go and the kind of bulbous area here, remember you may be putting light and shadow on like if you're doing light and shadow on this nostril over here and you're saying, well, the top of the nostril is going to be lighter than the bottom, remember that the entire nostril itself is hidden behind the larger nose area here, so the entire nostril will be thrown into darker shadow in general. Those are some factors to keep in mind. You have the nose, and you have the bridge of the nose, and all of these different parts of the nose can be changed drastically. The nose is one of the most changeable forms on a human face, and it really does describe a lot of character of the face. If you want to draw people to look like who they are, pay very close attention to the nose. It is an extremely defining characteristic of the face. I think for psychological reasons, we all want to pay more attention to the eyes and mouth. You know, that's where all the emotions are read, and the nose is usually, I think people think of the nose as kind of a null object. But in terms of making people look like who they are, it's incredibly essential. So a lot of the variation you can get with noses, you know, in the bridge of the nose, just imagine, you know, it can dip in, you know, it can dip in like that. It can have a lot of cartilage built up right around here and bulge out. It can be broken and have kind of, you know, a broken area around here between the bridge and the bulb area. and it can it's as far as its height and shortness, in comparison to the nose, the nose could be really short, and the the bottom of the nose could be very close to the eyes, or the bridge of the nose could be really fat, or it can be, have a very sharp edge on top and have very steep sides. The bulbous area can be really small and unpronounced. It can point out from the bridge, or it can totally, like, just follow the line of the bridge down, going down under the nose, and not stand out at all. don't don't hesitate to, I would recommend that you spend time drawing noses that are just have ridiculously large nostrils. People don't pay enough attention to nostrils. For some reason, they think it looks unnatural to make the nostrils really stand out. And I think it's just because we're so used to seeing nostrils that we don't think they are as apparent on faces as they are. And so when we draw them, we hesitate and think, no, they couldn't be that big and show up on the face so much, but they do. So the sign of an unpracticed artist is that they draw these these hidden, they try to hide their nostrils and make them not as apparent, whereas nostrils are just as apparent on faces as eyes are, and all of that. So if you just get used to it, then you'll start to do it accurately. So I think that's a good description of the nose. I hope this was helpful with your drawing noses and drawing in general. And the reason I make these video tutorials is to get the word out about my illustrated film that is going really well so far. And if you go to Solomation and check it out, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a good day.